What is up, guys? Nerf here, and today we're going to be doing another episode of Idiot's Guide to Decks, the series where we look at the good, the bad, the rogue, and the meta and see what makes it tick and learn how to play it live. So today's deck is a new meta contender that uses Fire King style effects and popping their own monsters in hand for powerful boosts and pluses. True King Dinos, classic remnant of the Dino format, and still a very popular and favored deck by a lot of people. So, we're going to start by doing a deck profile. Looking at what these True King Dinos run, what makes it good, and why they do it. Our first card is Megalo Smasher X. This guy is a normal dinosaur with 2000 attack. This is just all good stuff you hear. Also, he's a water, forgot to mention. Being a normal water dinosaur with 2000 attack helps him so much. Instant fusion for instant Bahamut. Use this guy combo for a Logia or Dolka, both of which we know are insane. Or use him as a 2000 beater. I mean, he's just got plenty of uses in the deck, and since there's so many ways to summon him, it's worth running him at 3. You'll be summoning him a lot. Our next card is BLS on steroids Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. We cannot be normal summoner set, the token of a good monster. Must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 2 dinosaur type monsters from your graveyard. Always great. You banish 2 from your graveyard, it's like a non-existent cost. Almost never happens, and there are a lot of cards in this deck that can actually benefit from that banish effect. Having cards in your banish zone actually helps out every once in a while in this deck. Also, his effect destroys a monster in your hand or that you control to activate it, allowing you to pop one of the cards that gains you advantage, like Baby Ceresaurus or Pidiraton, and instantly go in for a ton of plus. On top of that, with doing that, he Book of Eclipses your opponent's entire field, can attack all monsters that you control, and when he attacks a defense position monster, you inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent, burning him for 1,000. So if they have a field of 5 monsters and no spell traps, which Zoo does a lot, for example, you bring this guy out, after maybe a Miscellaneousaurus effect or something, you bring this guy out, set all their monsters face down, burn them for 5,000 by having this guy attack, and then all you need to do is put a little more damage on board and you're good to go. It's insane. This guy is such a big power card. We don't run him at 3 because it can get a little cloggy, but he is definitely one of the great boss monsters of this deck. Our next set of cards are the True Kings. We have True King Ognemazud the Vanisher, our Fire-type True King, and our True King Lithosasm the Disaster, our Earth King. These guys have very similar effects. If they're in their hand, you can destroy 2 other monsters in your hand or face up on your field, including an Earth monster / Fire monster based on the card. And if you do, you can special summon that card from your hand, and if both the monsters were the attribute requested, you can also do a bonus effect. The most important one being Lithosasms, looking at 3 monsters with different names from your opponent's extra deck, banishing them, and then allowing you to get good information to combine with True King VFD the Beast. Great card for setting up first turn plays. Without Lithosasm and all his stuff that he can do, this deck wouldn't run. He's insane. You search him out with Dragonic Diagram, popping something, and then use him to pop even more, get so many effects, you abuse the heck out of him. That goes for both of them. So our next card is Miscellaneousaurus. Miscellaneousaurus has some great effects. He's a hand trap that prevents dinosaur-type monsters you control from being affected by your opponent's activated effects. This makes your dino-based combo so much stronger. You can use him combined with an Ultimate Conductor or something else and just absolutely wipe apart your opponent's board just off of a hand trap effect. On top of that, this guy has a combo-based effect as well, banishing any number of dinosaur-type monsters from your graveyard, including himself, and special summoning a dinosaur-type monster from your deck with a level equal to the total number of monsters banished. This can allow you to just, get rid of 2, summon out one of these guys that you can totally abuse the heck out of on the field. Banish 4, get a Megalo Smasher, just get anything you want from the deck, like an Oviraptor or something. Or just banish himself and you get an instant level 1 tuner on the board. That is insane on its own, and that's all out of 1 card. On top of that, he's Fire type, which might not sound great, but it allows us to use our 2 copies of Ognemazud if need be, so he can save our combos sometimes. It comes in a lot of handy and is definitely worth running at 3. Next card is Oviraptor. Soul Devouring Oviraptor, to be exact. When he is normal or special summoned, take a dinosaur-type monster from your deck, either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. This is a Stratos combo Armanite for dinos. Insane. Unbelievably good. Not even once per turn. And they weren't even done. They added another absolutely awesome effect. You can target one level 4 or lower dinosaur monster on your field, destroy it, and special summon 1 dinosaur-type monster from your graveyard in defense position. You have a baby Ceresaurus or a Pterodon on board, pop them, summon any of those dinos you need, or summon them back for future use, and just immediately special summon a dino from the deck, because that's no big deal, right? No, it's awesome, it's great, it's just absolutely awesome to have that. Next card is one of our favorite one-ofs from Dino Rabbit format, the Rabbit himself. Can't be special summoned from the deck, but you can banish him when you control him, which is always nice. You'll see that there are some neat stuff to being banished, but it doesn't matter too much. But you banish him when you control him, special summon 2 level 4 or lower normal monsters with the same name from your deck, and destroy them during the end phase. Oh yeah, 4,000 attack, level 4 water dinosaurs sound like they might be useful with this card, because they are. You do that, this card alone on a normal summon is at minimum an equal plus with a Bahamut and a Tree Toad on field. Or you could even do a Lair Doka. You just get negates on the board for free just by normal summoning this guy. It is awesome. Works so great. Our next card is Tyranno Infinity. Here's where some of that banished stuff comes into play. His attack is equal to the number of your banished dinosaur-type monsters times 1,000. You run 1 because there are some 2-card combos where he is the difference between nothing and an OTK. Easily with the Missilosaurus effect combined, you banish 4 dinos, summon Infinity from the deck, 4,000 attack beater. Unbelievable. Such a fun card to play with. So, even if you might not be the best and could be a little bricky, which this deck definitely doesn't have to worry about its consistency, this guy can put a lot of damage on board if need be. The next 2 cards are relatively similar. We have Baby Ceresaurus, Pterodon. These guys both will act almost the exact same in the deck, except Baby Ceresaurus is a little better. Even though he is a Wen, he can summon a Jirac Aeolo or another Pterodon or Baby Ceresaurus. But what these guys do, just to be specific, is when they're destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon a level 4 lower dinosaur type monster from your deck. Yeah, you know, casual hand destruction combo. This guy make insane combos. It is unbelievable what you can do with these little things. For level 2 monsters, you get a lot of mileage out of both of them, and they are definitely worth running at 6. Their next card is Maxi, another classic level 2. Sometimes your turn 2 doesn't have your Missilosaurus. So just activate your Maxi, draw like 20 cards, and then you'll probably be able to secure the game going turn 2. Even though it's only a 1-of now, and some people argue that it's strange to still run it, I think it's definitely worth it in this deck, since this deck does have a good turn 2 OTK potential with a lot of cards in hand, because of cards like Miscellaneousaurus. Just helps so much. Aeolo is used in a couple of our combos. He's more about what he is than what he does. He's a fire dinosaur, which is nice for Agnemozoda, again, and he's also a tuner. Now, being a tuner allows us to go into 2 great cards in this deck. Denglong and your main man, Trish. These guys can both so Denglong can transform himself into level 9, which helps us with True King VFD. We actually use him in this combo. And Trishula, being a level 9 that can banish a card from each player's opponent's hand, field, and graveyard, is just insane. Really useful, gets a lot of mileage. Next card is Instant Fusion. We're only running 2 for a reason I'll explain later, but this card is always great. Activate it, you got a Megalo in the graveyard, instant Bahamut. As easy as it is. At worst, it's a free level 4 on field. It does help in that regard. You'll see it in a couple of combos. The only reason we don't run 3, however, is it doesn't help you too much in the early game, and is definitely a late game power card. Putting a negate on board late game goes a long way, and that's why I love Instant Fusion in the deck. Our next card is Raigeki, because Raigeki, you blow up all your opponent's monsters, and then you go for an easy game. That's just how it is with Raigeki as a card. Next card is Triple Fossil Dig. Fossil Dig's insane. It's Rhoda for dinosaurs. That's all you need to know. You, with this card, have the choice between a baby, a Pterodon, a Miscellaneousaurus, or an Oviraptor. All of those are great. No exceptions. You can just get anything you want off of this card. Awesome. Soul Charge, because when you see this late game, you basically win. Especially in a deck that has a lot of high-level monsters that are easily placed in their graveyard, you can get a lot of mileage out of Soul Charge, and almost every deck should run the card. Next card is Upstart, because Patrick Hoban 39 cards. And then our next thing is Triple Terraforming, Triple Dragonic Diagram. Terraforming, obviously, to search our Dragonic Diagram. Dragonic Diagram runs the deck. If you have access to your Dragonic Diagram, you're putting a huge amount of potential on board. You're going to notice when we move on later to combos the Dragonic Diagram goes such a long way. You destroy a card in your hand you control, add a True Dragon or True King card from your deck to your hand. So what do? You got this guy in a Pterodon, destroy the Pterodon, summon Lift Assassin, bring out Oviraptor from deck, and just go off. So our next thing to cover is our extra deck. So we got Elder Entity Norden, obviously, for easy combos with Megalo Smasher and Instant. Always nice. Denglong. Denglong might sound strange. He's a Yang Zing card, and we don't run any Yang Zings. Normally speaking, Denglong would not work in this deck. However, when you send a worm from the deck to the graveyard, this guy's level changes to that. So this level 5 that you were easily able to summon off of Aolo turns into a level 9 you can use for combos with VFD or Enter Blatnir. Next card is Trishula. Level 9, all you need is 2 level 4s, which isn't too bad in this deck, and you'll see it actually happen in a couple of combos. Level 9, and you go +2 off of it at worst. Great for turn 2 versions of combos. There are some that use Trish as a power card, power plays. He adds a lot to the deck. Next card is True King VFD, the true boss monster. 2 or more level 9s, that's all you need. And when you get information off Lift Assassin, you follow it up with this guy. Activate the effect, negate all attributes from that guy's deck. For example, you see True King Dinos, you call Earth or something. Or you see Zodiacs, you can call Earth as well. There's plenty of options with this guy. See Paleo, call Water. It's simple as that. VFD just does a lot. Next card is Enter Blatnir, because sometimes you need that problem removal. You banish a card your opponent controls, banish a random card from your opponent's hand, banish a card from your opponent's graveyard, banish the top card of your opponent's deck face up. Not a lot of power, but a lot of utility, and sometimes he does come in a lot of handy. Our next thing is the Utopia set, because sometimes you need that 5,000 damage on board. Even though we do have a lot of power cards, you can't go wrong with a Utopia the Lightning in your main deck. We run the Prime because 2 activations is better than 1, and the extra deck in this deck is relatively open to trying out. You still want to use every card, and that's not hard, but, you know, it's definitely useful to have that Utopia Prime. Our next card is Bahamut and Tree Toad. Bahamut and Tree Toad is obvious. You get those 2 Megalo Smashers, or you instant for a Megalo Smasher, summon Bahamut, bring out the Toad, negate and steal stuff. Now, how great is that? You can negate your opponent's card and then +1. Easy as pie. That's why you run this. It's absolutely awesome. Next cards are Logias and Dolkas. 2 level 4 dinosaurs. Oh, how convenient. These guys have great effects. During either player's turn, for example, Logia can negate anything. It is a judgment. That is insane. Next one is Dolka, which is a monster effect negate. So it's 2 solemn strikes. So you either get 1 solemn judgment or 2 solemn strikes. No life point pay or anything. And on top of that, they're not bad bodies either. And this happens a lot. There are combos in this deck with 2 cards that can bring out these guys and a VFD, which I'll be showing it soon up. Next card's Rhapsody. My opinion, sometimes you need him for problem removal. Rhapsody has a great effect, being able to equip him and gain 1200. Sometimes those monsters here need a little boost, and 1200 can put most of the cards in this deck at 3000 or just insane numbers. So sometimes he's better than that Utopia the Lightning, since banishing 2 cards from your opponent's graveyard, a double DD Crow on your turn, is nice. It does happen sometimes where Rhapsody is in huge handy. The next card is Castell. Castell is obvious. It's problem removal, shovels it back into the deck. You do what you're told with this guy, and it works out. 2000 body on top of that makes him nice and neat. Our last card is Centaurea, because sometimes if you really can't go anywhere further with your Pterodons and Baby Ceratosaurus, something that can get rid of anything for 2 level 2s, nobody's complaining. Everybody likes Centaurea for that. So anyways, that's the profile. Let's go over the concept real fast. The idea is you use cards like Dragonic Diagram and True Kings, pop your Pterodons, summon your Oviraptors and stuff, and go off with combos, which I'm going to go ahead and show. So let's go over and get ready for our first combo. So the first combo is going to be a 2-card combo, as you see, starting hand 2. Got our nice little tribute deck. Let's go pull it up. This is TDK Combo 1-2C. This is a 2-card combo. We win our rock, paper, scissors, so we can go ahead and go first. So this is the main combo of the deck right here. This is your bread and butter. You got Dragonic Diagram and one of the babies. 6 copies of this guy and over 9 copies of this guy. On top of that, the combo can also be pulled off with Oviraptor, so you can do it with 12 copies of this. You can do it with Oviraptor, Pterodon, Fossil Dig, or Baby Ceresaurus. It's almost all the same, and it ends with an insane board. So let's see. First off, you activate your diagram, and you use its effect, destroying a card in your hand or you control, and adding a true Draco or true King from your deck to your hand. Activate this, and combine it with Pterodon's with effect to destroy it by a card effect, and special summon a level 4 or higher dinosaur type monster from your deck, but it cannot attack that turn. So you send the Pterodon. You add Lithosasm because Lithosasm is the best true king, and you'll need the fact that he's an Earth in combos in a sec. And you special Oviraptor from deck. You just special summon it to Stratos. You already know this deck's going off. With this, I prefer to search Baby Ceresaurus because what you can do is use Oviraptor's other effect here to gain more advantage. Here's how you do it. You normal summon the Baby Ceresaurus, activate the Oviraptor, pop it, bring your Baby Ceresaurus back, your Baby Ceresaurus activates, and bada boom bada bang, you got an extra Baby Ceresaurus. Just by doing that. Now we got 2 Earth dinosaurs that have effects to be popped, and this guy who's going to conveniently do just that. Since we use 2 Earths, we can banish monsters from your opponent's extract. When we can go ahead and look, you see we got this stuff, we got our Fusionist and Random Grab, right? So now we can go ahead and banish 3 cards from their extra deck, potentially banishing power cards, and usually you'd figure out what deck they're playing, so now you can use VFD's effect in the draw phase. So now we get to special summon some cards. First off, we get Aeolo because our tuner guy. Next up is Missilosaurus because you can use his graveyard effect here for a lot of mileage. So what I do next is I summon Danglong using Aeolo and Miscellaneousaurus. Now we have 2 level 9s on board because we can just activate Danglong's effect, sending an Agnemazut, and bam, 2 level 9s. That's already great, but we can still go further. Activating Missilosaurus' effect in the graveyard, banishing our 2 Baby Cerasauruses and a Pterodon or something else that's set up. That's my preferred one. Something you can now special summon something from deck. You have a couple of options here. You summon Tyranno Infinity and you put 8,000 damage on board. You can summon Missilosaurus for future use, or you summon Megalosmasher for if you have something like an Instant Fusion or other. For this example, though, we're just going to go ahead and summon Tyranno Infinity. With this on board, we have enough to technically go for game. If you count 4,000, 2,800 puts you at 68, and all you got to do is add that 18, which puts you at 86. But that's not what we're here to see. Now what we can do is summon our True King VFD the Beast and our Avulsar. So let's go with Logia. So now we have the ability to negate every attribute of a monster effect. We most likely know what they're playing now because we see their Flame Ghosts and all that crap. This is just for an example. And we have a Solemn Judgment on board. Since we already know what they're playing, we can prepare. On top of that, we have around 5,700 damage on board right now. So now let's say, for example, we activate our VFD's effect, call whatever they have, and then we can go ahead and move on. However, we got some more combos to show. Our next 2 combos are both 3 cards to show the extensions you can do on these type of combos. Our next one here is going to be if we have an extra baby in hand. So if that happens, you can actually even go further. This combo is a little better turn 2, and you'll see why in a bit, but this combo still, either way, ends a lot better. So we get our Pterodon effect as per usual, summon Oviraptor, and use him to search our second baby. Now, here you're going to notice a little difference. Instead of having a normal summon, we already have our 2 babies, and that's what's most important. We actually have to save Oviraptor's effect to gain a bunch of advantage off of it later. So now we summon our 2 baby Saras, bring out that Lithosasm, banish those monsters from the extra deck. We can get rid of that rare fish. Let's go get that rare fish. Oh wait, no we can't because it's only 1 each. However, you still get a lot of mileage out of that, banishing 3 monsters. So now we can go ahead and special summon. We get our Aeolo, as per usual. And we go ahead and grab our Miscellaneousaurus. Now here, since we saved Oviraptor's effect, you're going to see how that will be used in a little bit. But here, we can go ahead and summon our Danglong, Origin of the Yangzing. As per usual, use its effect, sending our card. 2 level 9s already on board in the Oviraptor. However, we got the Miscellaneousaurus. Instead of calling 4, we're going to call 2 this time. Bringing out, maybe, how about something like Pteranodon? So, let's go ahead and bring him out. And now we activate Oviraptor's effect. Pop the Pteranodon, special summon the Aeolo from the graveyard to reuse it, and now bring out whatever choice you like. You bring out Megalodon X for a 2k beater, or a Miscellaneousaurus to set up for the next turn. For this combo, we're going to show Megalodon. So, there you go. Now, what happens is we got Aeolo, Oviraptor, Megalosmasher X. What can you do with that? You can summon a certain synchro monster, Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Now that we summoned him, you can banish one card from their hand, field, and grave. Already insane with Trishula. And now we have 3 level 9s. There are a couple rats here. You can use 3 materials for VFD, 2 for an Enter Blotnier and leave like a Trish on the field or something. Or my favorite, summon Heart Earth Dragon. Heart Earth Dragon is our absolute power card that you can definitely choose to run if you want to. I just use this to show off the combo here. This guy can't be destroyed by battle if your opponent takes any battle damage involved with this card. And if he's destroyed while he has Exceeds material, special summon him from the graveyard and he gains 1000 attack for every card currently banished. This guy is a power player and it's a lot of trouble for your opponent to deal with this guy. So sometimes you really want to summon him. However, personal opinion, I think summoning the VFD with 3 materials is a little safer. However, that's your call. So our next combo will be showing a use of Instant Fusion in this deck. This is not an ideal 3-card combo because obviously what you just saw was probably one of the better ones, but it'll definitely show what you can do with this deck. Just showing what little additions can add. So here we got our Instant Fusion and our usual Pteranodon Dragonic Diagram setup. Which, like I said, there's definitely other ways to do this. You can do it with that Soul Devouring Oviraptor. The baby Sarah goes just fine with it, and really anything else. So just to show you, if we were to normal summon Oviraptor, we just have that Pteranodon in hand for crashing it, and still end up in a relatively similar spot. So here we add our baby. Baby Ceratosaurus' effect, popping him, bringing him back, nice and easy. Now, we can bring out the other baby. You got both the babies now. Now you can activate Lith Assassin, getting rid of your 2 babies, activating his effect, banishing those 3 monsters from your opponent's extra deck, always nice. Then your baby's effects activate. Get your Miscellaneousaurus is my choice usually here. And you can go ahead and grab your Jurak Aeolo. With this setup right here, it's a couple routes you can take. I'm going to show the one that I think I prefer them. Now here you could actually do something similar. You can summon Denglong with, for example, Miscellaneousaurus, Jurak Aeolo, and then you activate Instant Fusion, summoning back the Aeolo, summoning back the Trish, and doing a similar combo to last time, for example. But I want to show something a little different. You could also just Trish right here, go for a 2 level 9, and then summon a Lagia Dolka, or no, sorry, not a Lagia Dolka. And then you can go ahead and, Lagia Dolka. So what I'm going to show is the route where we summon Denglong here. So we summon Denglong, right? Usual. Activate his effect, sending an Agnimazid. Now here, of course, we get a couple of options. But here you can activate your Instant Fusion. Bada boom, bada bing. Norden effect. Bringing back our Aeolo. Let's do this route, actually. And then, bada boom, bada bang, you Trish him, second turn. Or what we could have done was activated the Miscellaneousaurus effect here. Or now we can still activate the Miscellaneousaurus effect if you'd like. So that's always nice. You get that extra Miscellaneousaurus effect. Or you activate Miscellaneousaurus earlier on, bringing out the Megalodon X, And then with that, you can make your Bahamut Shark and go with the 2 level 2s. For this one, though, it's always fun to summon Hard Earth. I like him. I'm not going to say he's good, but I like him. So yeah, that is an example of what you can do with our True King Dinos. So, let's go ahead and go to our summary moment. So True King Dinos focus on making powerful Xyz monsters and boss monsters by using effects of destroying with card effects. That's what you need to know. You can summon out great monsters, put a ton of negates on board, and this deck is a lot of fun to do that with. It's great to play, really fun online, and I think it will be great in the future upcoming metas. I hope you guys enjoyed this whole thing. I hope you liked the profile as well as the explanation, and I hope you have a wonderful day. See you guys next time.